8.2 feet. That is how high the ocean level could rise from the 2000 year level to the 2100 year level. Global warming has become an issue in this day and age. I became interested in the effects of global warming after hearing a speech on it. That speech really opened my eyes and pushed me into doing research of my own on this pressing topic. Global warming is an issue that affects all of us, as that if nothing is done, we will all suffer the consequences. Global warming affects many aspects in our lives, including changes in weather patterns, rises in sea level, and it alters key habitat elements critical to wildlife survival. The first main issue with the global warming is changes in weather patterns. Changes in the planet's temperature increases the severity of storms, including drought, hurricanes, and heat waves. Increased temperatures have increased the rate of evaporation, resulting in droughts in many areas. In 2011, many locations in Texas and Oklahoma experienced over 100 days of over 100 degrees Fahrenheit temperatures, according to globalchange.gov. During this period, both states experienced records in temperatures, and the loss of water resulted directly in over $10 billion in losses to agriculture alone. Even in areas where precipitation does not decrease, these increases in surface evaporation and loss of weather from plants lead to more rapid drying of soils if the effects of higher temperatures are not offset by other changes. Increases in sea surface temperatures amplify the effects of hurricanes. According to globalchange.gov, by late this century, there will be an increase in Category 4 and 5 hurricanes. Along with these hurricanes, rainfall will increase by up to 20% at the center in the warmer climates. Since 1980, there has been an increase in most measures of hurricane activity, including intensity, frequency, and duration. In recent years, the number of heat waves has been increasing steadily. In 2011 and 2012, the amount of heat waves were almost triple the long-term average. The severity of droughts, hurricanes, and heat waves has risen due to the increase of global temperatures. Along with weather, global warming also affects sea levels. Changes in the planet's temperatures affect sea levels. Increases in air temperatures are causing glaciers and land ice to melt. According to the World Glacier Monitoring Service Reference Network, the decadal average loss of glacier ice has quintupled. In the 1980s, an average of 6.7 inches of liquid water melted from glaciers, 18 inches in the 1990s, 20 inches in the 2000s, and 33 inches in the 2010s. Losses to the Greenland ice sheet has increased sevenfold, starting at 34 billion tons per year from 1992 to 2001 to 247 billion tons per year from 2012 to 2016, according to climate.gov. Increases in the ocean water temperatures causes the water to expand and pushes the water out and up. Thermal expansion is caused when seawater expands due to higher temperature of water. Warm seawater has a greater volume than cold seawater. As the ocean temperature increases, so will the ocean volume. If global atmospheric temperatures rise, the oceans will absorb that heat and then expand. The ocean water levels are changing due to losses in glaciers and ice sheet, as well as thermal expansion, all caused by global warming. These changes in sea level have more of an effect than it seems. Changes in the planet's temperature affects key elements of wildlife's habitat. Rises in temperatures destroy important habitats that wildlife rely on. Rises in ocean temperatures causes coral bleaching, which destroys those fragile ecosystems that support numerous types of fish. According to the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, in 2005, the U.S. lost half of its coral reefs in the Caribbean to a massive bleaching event. Warming waters will cause a decline in fish species that require cold water to survive. Warming water is also destroying polar bear hunting grounds with melting ice. Increases in temperatures affects the wildlife sources of food as well as breeding habitats. Food availability for migratory species has been altered by climate change. Migratory species arrive to find that their food sources have hatched or bloomed too early or not at all. The milder winters also cause problems for species who rely on cold to keep their food from spoiling. According to the National Wildlife Federation, droughts caused by climate changes could dry up 90% of central U.S. wetlands, eliminating breeding habitat for ducks, geese, and other migratory species. Rising sea level and changes in salinity could destroy mangrove forests, leaving many fish, shellfish, and other wildlife without habitat to breed, feed, or raise offspring. Habitats are being destroyed due to an increase in the temperature of the planet. In conclusion, global warming affects more than just it being hot. Global warming affects the planet by destroying ecosystems, raising sea level, and changing the weather. The world is forever changing, and humanity is at the head of this change. It is up to us if we are to allow it to move towards the destruction of the world.